Step 3, when you get a strong negative emotion, step 3 is to look at how you might be adding unnecessary weight to the emotion by your thinking. So for instance, you have ideas of how things ought to be, as in, my husband should be able to stop drinking. My daughter should get a full-time job. Though neither are able to do these things right now, so whenever you think of them, you are filled with anger. Or you think of things in their extreme, as in, I'll never be happy, or he'll always drink. Things are black and white. You use words like ever and never. The evers and nevers pull you towards hopelessness or helplessness. Professor Lakshman Madhura Singh talks about the many ways we distort our thinking. Here briefly are 10 of them. The first is tunnel vision. I expect he'll use. You rule out the possibility of another outcome before the event even occurs. 2 is awfulizing. I can't bear to go on like this. She has to stop. Watch words like awful or terrible, especially the phrase, I can't stand it. 3 is black and white thinking. He doesn't love me. He thinks only of himself. Things are either all or nothing, terrible or great, a total loss or perfect, when in fact, if you look at the situation, there are probably pros and cons to it, and things are probably somewhere in the middle. 4 is generalizing. I'll never be happy. You exaggerate your situation and make absolute comments using words like ever or never, even though the evidence, especially about the future, doesn't exist. 5 is projecting. I could tell from the look he gave me that he doesn't like me. You're mind reading and you're putting words into a person's mouth. You project your own thoughts onto another person. 6 is negative thinking. He's going to treatment, but it won't help. You think in overly negative terms. You think you're protecting yourself by expecting the worst. If something positive happens, you discount it and cling instead to the negative. Exaggerating the negative thinking is not realistic thinking. Blame is number 7. It's your fault this family is in such trouble. You deny that you have some control over the situation, and you prefer to make another person responsible for your pain. Again, this isn't an all or nothing situation. Any reality is in part a result of the choices we make. 8 is unfairness. It's not fair. I should be enjoying my retirement. Once again, there is certainly some truth to this when you're in relationship with someone who's abusing drugs or alcohol, but it's not the whole truth. You grow resentful, yet there is always some things you can do. Thinking things are unfair denies you the potential of making a different decision. 9 are the shoulds. My daughter should be doing better now. She's older. The shoulds, how much they can rule our lives. Too often, these judgments, often seen as rules, are used to tear us down or to make us feel incompetent or a failure. 10 is heaven's reward. For example, I worked and raised that kid and look how she thanks me. This is the I've worked hard and deserve a different outcome thinking that can quickly drive you to a place of self-pity. When the reward of your hard work doesn't come, you're left bitter and angry. I want to pause here for a moment and point out that if you're feeling really hopeless or depressed or anxious, to the point that you feel it's not worth going on, you may be in danger of hurting yourself. This can happen when family life is completely upset by addiction. If in any way, even a little bit, this sounds true for you, I want you to click on the crisis page and call the number we give you. Tell them how you're feeling. If the first number doesn't work, call the next one. Don't give up. Get help. The same holds true if you're feeling so angry and upset that you may physically hurt someone. This can happen because living with addiction is just that infuriating. Call the number on the crisis page. Ask for help. And lastly, if you're feeling fear that you may be hurt by someone in your life, go now to the crisis page, call and tell them what's going on. Do not delay. So to quickly review, step 1 is to label your feeling. I'm furious, I feel sad, I feel low. Step 2 is to look at the thought that led to the feeling. She is never going to stop using cocaine. I am totally alone with this pain. Step 3 is to assess how you are distorting the thought and adding weight to it. The ever-never thinking, the shoulds, the generalizing. Obviously, negative things can and do happen. We're not saying they don't. But when we are not thinking clearly, when our thinking is distorted by rigid assumptions, we may be making our problems seem much worse.